It has been over a year since the tragic accident occurred on the Orlando FreeFall drop tower at Icon Park on March 24, 2022, which unfortunately resulted in the death of a 14-year-old boy. This ride's story was covered by news sources around the entire world, heard by anybody who cares about amusement parks. However, recently I have seen dozens and dozens of videos all over my Instagram and YouTube pages talking and giving misinformation about what actually happened on the Orlando FreeFall on March 24, 2022. And even though I usually don't make videos on sensitive topics such as this one, with all the misinformation going around, along with the fact that I consider myself fairly well versed and knowledgeable about the roller coaster industry, I felt it would only be right for me to make a video on it. As for some backstory surrounding the Orlando FreeFall, this ride opened on December 28, 2021, advertised as the world's tallest freestanding drop tower, supposed to be a successor to the extremely popular Orlando Starflyer, which was the world's tallest swing ride in the exact same park. The ride opened to many rave reviews, attracting a lot of attention to Icon Park in just the way they wanted. I actually went out and rode the Orlando FreeFall for myself on March 23, 2022. Yes, the day before the tragic accident and the last ever day that this ride would operate regularly. And right here, I'd just like to leave a little bit of a warning, as some of the information I discuss next will be fairly sensitive. Once the sun went down on March 24, 2022, Tyre Sampson and his family, visiting from Missouri, came down and bought tickets to the Orlando Starflyer. After Tyre Sampson was unable to fit into the seat on the Orlando Starflyer, the operators assured him that even though he missed out on this one, he would be able to go over and ride the world's tallest drop tower. Now here's where the story really gets crazy and rather unfortunate. According to the ride's manufacturer, Funtime Amusement Rides out of Austria, the maximum weight limit per seat and restraint on these types of drop towers is just under 300 pounds. Meanwhile, Tyre Sampson weighed in at 383 pounds. Now, if you've been to an amusement park at all, I'm sure you've seen somebody get removed from a ride because the restraint won't close on them properly, whether that is due to height, weight, or any other reason. That should have been the exact case on what happened on the Orlando FreeFall. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and Tyre Sampson was allowed to board the Orlando FreeFall. Now, normally, on any modern amusement park ride or roller coaster in general, for the vehicle to be dispatched through the course, every restraint in every seat has to be locked in a very specific position set by the manufacturer before the ride ever gets to its intended park. And that is no different of the Orlando FreeFall when it arrived at Icon Park. However, after an investigation that happened after the ride's accident occurred by Quest Engineering and Failure Analysis Incorporated, it was discovered that the restraint proximity sensors of the seat Sampson was in had been manually adjusted after they had been initially secured in place by the ride's manufacturer. The ride would not operate if the sensors detected that any of the restraints were not sufficiently closed, and this adjustment allowed the restraint to be open almost twice as wide as normal without triggering a shutdown. Consequently, Sampson's restraint left a large enough opening for him to slide out of the seat on the descent of the 430-foot drop tower. Just to recap, the vehicle that Tyre Sampson was on was dispatched as normal, taking the slow climb all the way up 430 feet, giving a slow yet astounding view of Orlando and Central Florida as far as the eye could see. Once he got to the top, the vehicle dropped without warning, just as it had for thousands of other riders before him. However, it was at this point where his restraint started to lift up. He grabbed onto the handles and did the best he could to keep the restraint down. However, once the vehicle got to the bottom of the tower, slamming into the magnetic brakes, the force became far too strong for him to hold on, and he unfortunately slipped beneath the restraint, falling about 75 feet to his death right in front of everybody watching and on the ride. Bystanders and ride operators would do their best to garner first responders, however, it was too late. Tyre Sampson had perished, and that would be the last ever time that the Orlando FreeFall was operational. This became worldwide news, and the Orlando FreeFall was plastered across every TV all over the world as the ride that killed a 14-year-old boy. This incident was absolutely tragic, and in the coming months, many investigations would follow, and almost a year after the accident, it would be deemed that the Orlando FreeFall drop tower would be closed forever and never operate again. The family would reach a settlement with Icon Park and the Slingshot Group following a lengthy wrongful death lawsuit. And even though amusement park ride and roller coaster accidents do happen, do not let incidents such as this one deter you from riding your favorite roller coaster, as statistically, riding a roller coaster might just be the safest way to get your adrenaline rush in the entire world, as you are more likely to get struck by lightning than injured or killed on a roller coaster. Yes, that is a true statistic. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like rating down below, and I've been Hangtime Thrills. You can subscribe for more videos from me every single week, and I'll catch you guys next time.